Hello?
Tyler,
What up? Yo.
Will McClay with the Cowboys. I got somebody who wants to talk to you.
Hey, Tyler.
Yo, what's up?
Tyler, this is Jerry Jones.
Nice to meet you, Jerry. What's up?
Hey, man. Listen, I just wanted to be maybe the first to tell you you are no longer a Sooner. You're a Dallas Cowboy.
Oh, my God.
Tyler Guyton is a Dallas Cowboy making $3.3 million a year. But what you might not know is that before he ever put on that star, he only had one college offer in the entire country. One. But before we get into the chain of events that turned a very unlikely person into a Dallas Cowboy, hit that subscribe button. And if you're hyped for the Cowboys this year, hit that hype button while you're at it. And with that, let's get into it. Tyler Guyton was born on June 11, 2001 in Manor, Texas, a small town just east of Austin. He grew up the same way his dad did. Basketball in his blood, Cowboys on the TV, but he bounced around Austin area high schools chasing the dream of shooting some hoops. Football was never in the picture, not once. Then before his senior year, Tyler landed at Manor High School. Imagine the first week of fall at Manor. A 6'7", 280-pound kid nobody has ever seen before is walking through the hallway on his way to class. Football coaches spot him and practically trip over themselves trying to get to him. They ask if he wants to come out for practice, and he says, "No thanks, I play basketball." The coaches were probably like, "Are you for real right now?" And that happened multiple times. Tyler turned down every single coach who asked. But then one afternoon, head coach Jimmy Mitchell ran into him near the front office. Mitchell gave the same pitch, but something about the way he said it landed differently. He told Tyler that with his size and his athleticism, he could be something special on the football field. And for whatever reason, Tyler followed him to the field house that afternoon. He chose defensive line as a position, and he would introduce himself to position coach Joe Velasco, and after that, they'd go and find him some cleats. But they couldn't. Nothing in the building fit a kid that big. But the cleats were the easy problem. Tyler didn't understand how football worked off the field. He didn't even know practice was every single day. But check this out. Mid-season, he told Coach Mitchell he couldn't play in that week's game because he had a family reunion in Dallas. Mitchell said, "Tyler, you can't miss a district game." And Tyler said, "But coach, I really want to go." Mitchell told him, "I'd go to the family reunion with you, man. I'd enjoy the heck out of that, but our team's depending on us." On top of that, Tyler didn't have a car. So Mitchell started picking him up for practice every day in his pickup truck. He'd drive out to get Tyler first since he lived the furthest away, then scoop up four-star defensive lineman Princely Umanmielen, then grab Madier Dieng. All three were over 6 feet 5 inches. Mitchell joked it looked like a clown show with him driving and these massive guys with their heads smashed against the roof. By playoff time, Guyton had turned into a problem for every offense he faced. That 2019 Manor team went 5-5 in the regular season, but they caught fire in the postseason. Tyler earned second-team All-District 11-5A honors one season, his first season of football in his life. But because he only played his senior year, nobody in the recruiting world knew his name. Most kids had already committed to schools by then. TCU was his only offer, one school in the entire country willing to take a chance on him. And the only reason they even looked was because Coach Mitchell texted a picture of Tyler standing next to a door over to TCU's staff. He said, "Everybody knows how tall doors are. You've got to come down and see this kid." TCU signed him, but Mitchell and assistant coach Claude Bassett both told Tyler something he didn't even want to hear. They said he'd have to end up switching to offensive line in college. Tyler wanted no part of that. Defensive lines have sacks and tight ends have touchdowns, but offensive lines have nothing but dirt in your face and zero stats. But Gary Patterson's staff at TCU believes his future was on the other side of the ball. He redshirted as a true freshman in 2020, playing in just one game. As a redshirt freshman in 2021, he appeared in 8 games, bouncing between backup lineman and H-back. He even caught a touchdown pass against Iowa State. But in January of 2022, Tyler made the move that changed everything. He entered the transfer portal and landed at the University of Oklahoma. That's where he walked into Bill Bedenbaugh's offensive line room. Bedenbaugh had produced more than a dozen NFL draft picks in his time at Oklahoma. 5 of the past 7 Big 12 Offensive Lineman of the Year awards belonged to his guys. Creed Humphrey, Orlando Brown, they all came through that room. And now he had Tyler Guyton, an athlete who had played organized football for less than 3 years. In 2022, Guyton appeared in 10 games with 5 starts. He took 400 snaps, allowed just 2 sacks, and 0 quarterback hits. Still learning. Then the Cheez-It Bowl changed him. Two of Oklahoma's starting tackles opted out. Guyton got pressed into the lineup at right tackle against Florida State and matched up with Jared Verse, the same Jared Verse who would go 19th overall to the Rams the next year and win Defensive Rookie of the Year. Tyler battled him all game, dumped him in pass protection, contained him snap after snap. Bedenbaugh later said that game was the moment Tyler realized what he could become. His junior year in 2023 was the breakout. With Wanya Morris and Anton Harrison gone to the NFL, Guyton locked down the starting right tackle spot. And here's the detail that makes it even wilder. Oklahoma's quarterback was Dylan Gabriel, who is left-handed. That means the right tackle is protecting the quarterback's blind side. The most critical job on the line: 9 starts, 663 snaps, 0 sacks allowed, not one. Bedenbaugh told reporters flat out, "He's the most talented guy I've ever coached. There's not one thing he doesn't have to be a great offensive lineman. He's got every tool and every trait that you need." Let that sink in. The man who had coached more than a dozen NFL draft picks just said Tyler Guyton was the most talented of all of them. At the Combine, Guyton measured in at 6 feet 7 inches and 3/4, 322 pounds. Arm stretching 34 and 1/8 inches. He ran a 5.19-second 40-yard dash and posted a 34.5-inch vertical jump that ranked in the 97th percentile among all offensive linemen ever tested at the Combine. A 322-pound man jumping nearly 3 feet in the air. You can't teach that. Draft night, April 25th, 2024. Dallas needed a left tackle badly. Tyron Smith, their 8-time Pro Bowl protector, had left in free agency for the New York Jets. The blind side was wide open. The Cowboys were sitting at pick 24, but instead of staying put, they traded back with the Detroit Lions, swapped down to 29, and picked up an extra third-round selection. Pick 25 went by, then 26, then 27, then 28. When pick 29 came around, they called Tyler Guyton's name. 4-year deal, $13.2 million, $6.4 million signing bonus. Jerry Jones called him a sexy pick and said the kid had more upside than any lineman he'd seen. And the kid from Manor wasn't going to just any team. He was going to the Dallas Cowboys. And that part of the story is where everything comes full circle. Now, to understand how everything comes together, we have to talk about something a lot of people who are Tyler Guyton fans might not know. And that's his dad, Alvin Guyton. You see, Tyler's dad, Alvin, was such a hardcore Dallas Cowboy fan. I mean, this man bled silver and blue his entire life. And if you think that watching games on Sunday was just something that they did, you're wrong. It was a religion in that house.
Hallelujah!
Tyler's mom was the same way. This was a Cowboys family through and through, and the love Alvin had for that team got passed straight down to his son. Now, I'm going to tell you something Alvin did later in this story that will tell you everything you need to know about how deep that love runs. But we're not there yet. First, I got to tell you about Tyler's grandmother and her role in all of this. Everyone called her Granny, but her name was Gracie. This woman worked hospice shifts into her 70s, and she would tell anyone who would listen that Tyler is going to go to the NFL. She truly believed in him, but unfortunately, she would pass away before she ever got to see it happen. Tyler would actually get a tattoo on both his hands, though. On his right hand, he got a tattoo of a dog tag with her name on it, and on the left hand, he got the word selfless along with her signature. He carries her with him every time he steps on that field. Unfortunately, she never got to see it, but she did call it. So when the Cowboys drafted Tyler Guyton, this wasn't just any pick for this family. This was something that was way more meaningful. Jerry Jones sent a private jet to Austin to bring the Guyton family to Frisco. Tyler had never been on a private jet in his life. When they landed and walked through the doors of the Star, Tyler's personalized number 60 jersey was already hanging in his locker. He put it on and said, "I'm not going to take it off. Neither is my family." They all wore it to the press conference. And then came the moment I told you about. Remember when I said Alvin did something that tells you everything about how deep this family's love for the Cowboys runs? Here's the thing. This wasn't even the first time. Back in September of 2023, before Tyler had even been drafted, Alvin went to a Cowboys game at AT&T Stadium. After Dallas blew out the Jets 30-10, this man got onto the field and laid down on the Star logo at midfield and kissed it. He was just a fan, just a dad who loved his team. And 7 months later, when his son actually got drafted by that team, Alvin did the exact same thing at the Ford Center practice facility in Frisco. Laid down and kissed that star again. Jerry Jones told reporters he'd never seen a player as emotionally proud to be a Cowboy as Tyler Guyton. But the truth is, it wasn't just Tyler. It was the whole family. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. What came next was tough, but Tyler's rookie year in 2024 was a real grind. The Cowboys flipped him from right tackle to left tackle, which is a completely different world when it comes to footwork and pass sets. And the guy he was replacing, Tyron Smith, an 8-time Pro Bowler, the same left tackle Tyler had grown up watching every Sunday on the living room TV with his dad. Most left tackles have been playing that position since they were little kids. Tyler had only been playing organized football for about 4 years total. He started 11 games, gave up 7 sacks, and committed 18 penalties. That was the third most by any player in the entire league. He even lost the starting job for 4 weeks when Chuma Edoga came back from injury. People started questioning the pick. They called him raw. They said he wasn't ready. It was the same noise you hear with every young player who struggles early on. But then the growth started showing. In 2025, his penalties dropped all the way down to 7. His run blocking got noticeably better. He started every game he played. But just when things were clicking, his body kept letting him down. A knee fracture in training camp, a concussion in October, and a high ankle sprain in November that sent him to injured reserve after only 10 starts. His game was catching up, but his body kept betraying him at the worst times. Here's what you really need to understand about Tyler Guyton. Every single chapter of his life has been about catching up to people who had a 10-year head start on him, and every single time he closes that gap faster than anyone thought possible. 1 season of high school football to a college scholarship, 3 years of college to a first-round pick, 4 years of real football experience to starting at the most important position on an NFL offensive line. Now heading into 2026, the Cowboys drafted offensive tackle Drew Shelton in the 4th round to give him some competition. Head coach Brian Schottenheimer has made it crystal clear. The starting job belongs to Tyler, but he has to stay on the field. The tools haven't gone anywhere. That 97th percentile athleticism, the massive 6'8" frame, the explosiveness that made Bill Biedenbaugh say he was the most talented player he'd ever coached. It's all still there. And for the first time in 3 years, Tyler Guyton is walking into training camp completely healthy. If you had told that 17-year-old Tyler, the kid walking the halls at Manor High, turning down every football coach who tried to recruit him, that in just 5 years he'd be a first-round pick for the Dallas Cowboys, he would have laughed right in your face. A grandmother who called it before anyone believed it. A dad who kissed the star before his son ever wore one. And a kid from Manor who turned 5 years of football into a first-round contract with America's team. Granny called it, Alvin dreamed it, Tyler Guyton is living it, and their story is just getting started. If you enjoyed this one, hit that like button and subscribe. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.